Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gloria's Crafts. My name's Gloria. Today we are going to be making Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus. So what I've done is I cut out 2 circles of the foam board. I used a ribbon. Oh my goodness. Okay, I used this ribbon as a template to cut out the circle for the bottom of Mary and Joseph. So I traced around this and cut out the bottom piece. This is going to help them stand up. Then, excuse me, I have a piece of wood for Joseph. And he wasn't even, so I propped some things up and put glue on it to have him steady. And then Mary's going to be, what is the word I'm looking for? Mary is part of rolling paper, wrapping paper, the cardboard in the center. So basically what you're going to want to do is put glue around the outside. You can make them as tall as you like. I made sure Joseph was a little taller than Mary. So I'm going to put a little more around the outside of Mary. So as you can see, let me lift this up some. Joseph and then Mary is a little bit shorter than Joseph. So there they are. So let me lay them down so you can see better. Mary's rolling away. So if I line them up, Joseph's a little taller than Mary. Okay? So what I've done is I took 2 Christmas balls I got at the Dollar Tree. I took the little silver thing off, and then I cut this. And I painted them plaster color. They're their heads. For the baby Jesus, excuse me, the baby Jesus, my kids have those Nerf guns. So I painted that the plaster color, and then I painted this with plaster. It was green with a gray top, and this is going to be the baby Jesus's body. So I'm going to glue baby Jesus to the Nerf dart, the Nerf ball to the Nerf dart. You can use whatever you'd like for the baby Jesus, but here is his head right on there. He doesn't have to be real big. He's a baby. So I'm going to put him aside because we're not going to use him for a little bit. And I'm not putting the balls on yet. So I have brown fabric that I folded in half for Joseph. And I'm going to give you the measurements. I have it folded in half, and it is from bottom to the top, it's about 11 inches. Okay? It's 11 inches, so it'd be 22 inches, and I folded it in half. And then I cut a hole in the top, right here, for it to slip over and be on this piece of wood. Mary's clothes are, it's folded over, and Mary's clothes are, let's see, 10 inches. So you need 20 inches of fabric for Mary's clothes. Okay? So that's what I have so far. So we're going to start with Joseph. first. So let me put Joseph right here so you can see what I'm doing. I have Joseph's outfit. I'm going to put it over. It's a little big, so what I'm going to do is going to put some glue around it because I cut too much of a hole to make it a little snugger for Joseph. And we're going to have to make arms for Joseph also, but I'd like to get his outfit on first. So I'm going to lay him down. I'm going to open up his little outfit, and I'm going to put glue on either side to make it a little snugger for Joseph. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back over Joseph, and I'm going to pinch the sides because I need it a little snugger for around his area. Take that off real quick. I also have this fabric material that I cut. Let's see how long it is. It is 12, about almost 16 inches long, and 6.5 inches wide. Okay, I'm going to fold that in half. Okay, so it's folded in half. I'd like to wrap Joseph's body in this first before we put on his brown outfit. You don't need to use the whole thing, but you can. I did the same thing for Mary also. So what I'm going to do is put some hot glue around here. Okay, and I'm going to stick Joseph onto the cloth. So I'm wrapping my tree. Okay, I wrapped it, I doubled it so that you wouldn't be able to see the wood. So as you can see what I'm doing, I wrapped it all the way around because I'd like to not see the branch I have. And then I'm putting glue down it, and then I'm going to fold the piece over for Joseph. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. This will be not Joseph's robe, but his actual clothes that he is wearing. So here he is, and I am going to cover Mary up also. So here's Joseph. I'm going to want to make this outfit snug on the wood. Because back then they used to wear robes, so he needed undergarments. You don't want to see the wood or your the roll from your cardboard roll. So I'm just tucking that around to make it secure. Okay? So here's what Joseph looks like so far. The base, I made them straight. I put some popsicle sticks, glued them on to make it straight so Joseph stood up straight. So here's Mary. Same dimensions we did for Joseph, we did for Mary. And what I'm going to do is lay the fabric down like we did for Joseph, and then do the glue and start wrapping this around for Mary's clothes underneath her robe. So I'm just rolling it around, and when I get to the end, I am going to secure it with more glue. And then I'm going to glue in the top here and then push it down. Okay? So I'm going to go around the inside of the hole. I put glue in there. Now I'm going to put the fabric on the inside. Tuck that down. Since it's more than one piece around, you have other pieces that need to be glued down. So I put glue on the fabric and pushing it down, trying not to burn myself. So there's Mary's part right there. I don't want to burn myself, so I'm going to tuck it down with scissors. And you're going to put one of the balls on top, the Christmas balls. So we're going to start with Joseph with his robe that he has. So I am going to cut down the middle, part way up, because I have to make his sleeves. So I'm going to start cutting up the middle. I am not the best cutter ever, but I don't want to take it too far up, but I cut it somewhat. So I'm going to put this on Joseph. Okay, so here is what it looks like right now. Now I'm going to add his head. Here's his head. I'm going to stick glue around the hole and put it on. So far, Joseph has his head on and his robe. So, what we're going to do is, what I'm going to do, it's rather long. I have to give him arms, so I was thinking pipe cleaner for his arms. So I am going to take my pipe cleaner, take it around the back of Joseph. Might be too big to do that. Then it's not long enough. So I'm going to hot glue. Oh, Joseph's head fell off. I'm going to have to hold this a little bit longer. So I'm holding his head on a little longer because it happened to fall off. Poor Joseph's head. So I need to make his arms. So I'm thinking I will hot glue his arms on the back of him. So here's the back. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm just going to put it on his back and put a decent amount of hot glue on his back. And then I'm going to hold the pipe cleaner till it secures. And then this will help us find his arm placements. So it's still drying, so I'm thinking I'm going to do Mary's arms while we're waiting for Joseph's to dry. So here's Mary's body. Thinking about here would be Mary's arms. There's Mary's arms. So I have to let her sit for a little bit. You can curl up near the end for a hand, which is what I'm thinking, to curl her hand like this. I'm going to do that to all their little hands. Okay, so she's drying. He's drying also. Now, he usually has a staff, Joseph does. So I got a dowel and the pipe cleaner, and I'm going to glue the pipe cleaner onto the staff, and then I'm going to have to paint it. So for right now, I'm going to put glue on the top and put the pipe cleaner right on there. So this is going to take a little bit to dry, and then I'm going to paint it once it's dry. Well, when we get back to it, actually. So here it is drying. Okay. So that's going to sit right there. And here's Joseph again. He's got his head. He's got his little arms. So I'm going to turn his little arms, his little hands in, just like that. And just like that. So I'm going to lay him down. I'm going to cut under his arms right here, and then I'm going to use glue, hot glue, because I'm not a good sewer, to hot glue his outfit to make it look like seams. So I'm going to cut right here for his little arms, see that? And then I'm going to glue that, and I might have to take in his jacket some, his robe, and then I'm going to cut this piece, doing it on an angle, so he's got puffy sleeves, and I'm going to finish cutting all the way up the middle of Joseph's outfit. I'm leaving a little at the top so it stays together up here, see that? Leaving that a little bit together. Now this is very, very long for Joseph, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with his sleeves, and I'm going to fold this over and make a hem on his sleeve with hot glue, okay? On both sides. So I'm going to start with the back piece, show you that, and then I'm going to turn the camera off and finish with the other parts of the sleeve. But I want to show you what I'm doing. So I cut it on an angle. We might not need to do that though. All I'm doing is gluing the one piece to the other. I don't think you need to make it a sleeve because this is perfect. So then I'm going to take the other side and glue this down, this side to the other side. Okay? So here's his sleeves. I believe his robe might be entirely too long and entirely too wide. So what I'm going to do, I left it hooked together up here, which I'm going to have to fix and put more glue up here to keep it on him. I'd like it to come out on the side, so I'm going to glue down here, fold the piece over so that it looks like a hem, like it's been hemmed. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm folding the piece over so that you can't tell it's all jaggedy, because I cannot cut straight for anything. Then I'm going to take the other side, which is over here, and I'm going to run hot glue down it and push this down to make it look like a hem. You could sew this. I am not a good sewer. I can sew by hand, but that's about it. I have a sewing machine, and to tell you the truth, my husband's a better sewer than I am with the sewing machine. So now he has somewhat of a hem. Okay? He's going to need, it's too puffy, so I'm going to cut some of this and then put it together. Okay? He's not that big of a guy. So here he is. So I'm going to cut about 1 inch or 1/2 inch off Joseph's robe. Okay. And then I'm going to do the other side. Joseph's robe. I'm going to do like 1/2 inch over here. It's way too long, but I want to glue the sides together before I check out. Let me see. Poor Joseph. His little robe's coming off. I'm going to glue, because it seems to be falling down on the back of his neck here area. And I'm going to pull his robe up. I'm going to use my scissor to not touch the glue. I just want it secure. Okay, and then I'm going to do some of the front of his outfit, because it's falling and I just don't like that. So, a little bit of Joseph's outfit right here. Squunch it on there, make it a little tighter. We don't want him to lose his little outfit. Okay, now that we fixed that, okay, so we need to cut this shorter. I don't want to cut it too short, because I'm thinking I'd like it to cover his stand that he is on. So I'm going to cut some more of his little outfit. Hopefully this will work out. And now what I'm going to do is glue these sides together, one inside the other, to make it look presentable. So I'm going to glue this one side closer to Joseph, and then put this over top. Try not to burn yourself. And then I'm going to have to glue back here, unless you would like to cut this, because this is kind of a hot mess. So cut that off, that extra piece, and then I'm going to glue this down You could cut more off. It's entirely up to you. Okay. So, I have some glue all over poor Joseph. Now I'm going to take the other side and tuck it underneath and glue down the inside of the coat. Flip this over here and lay this down. Okay. And then I'm going to cut some of the back. I think Joseph's looking pretty swift. I think he looks really good. Good job, Joseph. I'm going to cut more of this right here. Now I'm going to glue again, because you want it to look perfect. I'm gluing where it's sticking out. I think Joseph's looking pretty snazzy. I'm going to glue a little here and pull up his sleeve a little bit. Hold that on there. Now the back is a little long. You could roll it up, or thinking I'm going to put glue on the bottom and make it like a hem. Okay, so Joseph's arms right here, his outfit. We're going to get back to Joseph. Now we're going to do Mary. So Mary has her arms and her covering. Pretty much the same thing. Put her dress on. You're going to put Mary's dress on over her body because she doesn't have a head yet. Now, like Joseph, I cut too much, so I am going to glue the sides so that Mary's outfit actually fits her. You can use any kind of fabric you'd like. I was thinking of making the wise men, but I honestly right now do not have the material for the wise men to do tomorrow, so I might be doing a tree tutorial tomorrow, but I will eventually get back to doing the wise men. So here's Mary's head. I put that on. Gonna put some glue back here. Hold that on. Now, Mary's gonna have to lay down. She is not as tall as Joseph. I'm going to put her little arms out. Here's her little arms. And I'm going to cut wide angled area for Mary's sleeves. And then I'm going to glue them. Okay? So, I'm going to cut downward on Mary's sleeve, downward on this sleeve. Wait, I think her little hand's in the way. Yes, it is. Okay. So, Now, what I'm going to do is, here's her one arm. I'm going to glue these two pieces together to make a sleeve for Mary. Okay, there's one. I love this material. I wish I could get more. I would reupholster something in my house. I think it's just so pretty. So there's Mary's sleeves. Okay? She's got her two sleeves. They're too big for her little hands. So I'm going to have to start cutting to give her little hands to be able to see them. And then this hand a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting a little bit off so that her hands come out, and most likely I'm going to make a seam and whatnot. So now I'm going to cut up the middle to make Mary's robe open up. And I'm going to cut that almost all the way to the top so that it stays on. Okay? Then I'm going to take this piece and glue and fold it over to make it look like a hem. So I'm folding it over. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side. So I believe Joseph and Mary are going to look really awesome inside their manger that I made yesterday, and baby Jesus. So here's her little robe right here. I don't know why that's crinkled up like that. I don't like that. Now it's too long, so I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom. Off the bottom, and then off her jacket. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, that doesn't look right, put the one end inside the other, and hot glue where it needs to be hot glued, and I'm going to glue the one piece to this piece to make it a little sturdier, because that's what I have. So the one piece to the other piece, okay, and then I'm going to go around the back and pull her little robe down and cut a 1/4 inch or so off, and then I'm going to hot glue this piece to the back of Mary's robe. Okay. Now for the other side, I'm going to take the front of Mary's robe and glue it to this part of her robe, right on the seam. Glue that right on the seam. Mary's robe is kerfuffled. So, and then I'm going to cut part of the back right here, and I'm going to straighten that out and glue that on here and fix Mary's robe as best I can. Okay, it's not so bad. I just gotta put some glue here, and I gotta glue this and then cut the straggly ends off. So I am, like I said, not the best cutter. So Mary's robe is looking better. It is entirely too long, for one thing, so I have to fix that. We're going to cut a little longer than the base so that I can make a hem and make it look like it's been tailored or sewed, because poor Mary right now looks like a hot mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over the piece, and I'm going to glue it so that Mary looks tailored. I need to fix this. So I'm going to fix Mary's robe, and then I'll be back. For this part, I have a strip of fabric that I frayed on the ends. This is Mary's. It's going to go around her head. So here's Mary. Here's a strip of fabric. So basically, I'm going to put hot glue on it as to not cover her face. I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep this, so I'm going to put some glue up here on her head. Just like this. Then I'm going to lay her, no, I'm going to keep her like this. Let me pull this up some. And then I'm going to put this on her head. Okay, so she's getting, I don't know what this was called, but it went around her head. And I'm going to glue the back right here so that I can glue down the rest of her, I want to say habit, but I don't think it's a habit. Nuns wear habits. And then I'm going to drape this over, fold it in half, over the side. You can have this as long as you want or as short as you want. And I think I'm going to cut this because it's a little long for Mary. And then I got to get the wispies cut. But I'm going to glue a little down here because I don't want it covering her face. But I do want it to stay on. I like the little wispies right here. And then I'm going to glue this back here so that it'll stay. She's got a lot of little wispies, so you can cut them off because I frayed it, and that's where the wispies came from. Okay, so I'm going to glue this in the middle and squinch it, and then glue it to her outfit. So a little glue, then I'm going to push it together, just like that. Cut the little wispy off, and I'm going to glue it back here to her little outfit. Okay. Give it a little bit more glue because it's not firm against her. And then this piece I'm also going to fold in half. Get the little wispies off. I'm going to cut it and glue it together in the middle so that it stays together, just like that. So here's Mary. I think she looks awesome. I think I'm going to glue a little on the bottom here of her outfit so it stays kind of together but not all the way together. She's got her little hand so she can hold baby Jesus. You have to hold baby Jesus. We're going to make him a little crib also. So here she is. I'm going to put a little dab of glue down here. Little dab right there for her outfit. Move it open a little more so you can see her whiteness of the white part of her outfit. Cut this off. I think Mary's looking pretty good. So here's Mary. Mary looks good. So Mary's done. Mary is done. She has her little, I don't know what this is called, around her head and her outfit. So here's Joseph. We're going to do his head. I painted his staff. And here's Joseph's. So we're going to do the same thing. A little glue on Joseph's head. And then we're going to put this on his head. Okay, now I'm going to do the back of Joseph's head. Just like that. There you go. Here he is. So now I'm going to fold this in half and take this piece over and fold it. I'm going to put a little bit of glue down bottom. Okay. Going to glue this together. I'm going to glue this piece together, but I'm also going to cut it. It is entirely too long for Joseph. So I'm going to glue it in the middle. Sorry, my hand was in the way. Glue it in the middle. And then I'm going to glue it to his outfit in the back. There you go. There's Joseph's scarf. And then I'm going to glue down his outfit to the base. So you can see a little bit of the white outfit that he's got underneath. I'm going to glue this down. So, not sure if I lost the footage or not, but I put his little turban on, glued it on the back. So, Joseph is done. He's got his staff, and he's done. Front and back. Mary is done. So now we're going to make Jesus' cradle. So what I did was, I took the bigger popsicle sticks and I cut them on an angle. I cut 4 of the big popsicle sticks on an angle so that it'll go just like this when I glue it. And then I took 8 of the littler popsicle sticks and just cut off the round piece at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these popsicle sticks, the big ones, together and make sure they're even. Okay, and then I'm going to take the other 2 and put glue on here. And put it just like that. So we're going to put his little crib in there, but first I have to glue these. I'm going to do 4 and then 4 in like a V shape. So I'm going to glue down the end and I'm going to hold these 2 together in a bit of a V shape to make his little crib. Okay, so that's going to dry. Then I'm going to stick 3 together while that's drying before I put them together on the V shape. So there's 2 right there. And here's the 3rd one. I'm going to glue over here. So I have 3 together here. The 1 piece broke, so I'm going to have to glue that back on. So it has to go in here because it had broken. Push it down. For some reason it doesn't want to be my friend. So here's 3 together, and I'll fix that while everything's drying. Then I'm going to do this popsicle stick and glue it to this popsicle stick. And then I'm going to put some glue on this one. Just put the dickens out of my finger. That hurt. Okay, so pick these up, glue those together. Okay, so I'm going to fix this one so that it stays together. So I'm going to put some glue here and glue up here and push it together just like that. And then I'm going to glue these to here for his cradle. And then they're going to lay there for a couple seconds. I'm going to glue here. And glue these on here. So it's going to take a couple minutes to get hard, but you want it kind of the way this is, just like this. And then I'm going to put the cradle. I'm going to put some glue, excuse me, in here. And then I'm going to put the cradle in here and hold it because of the fact that it's wet. And then I'm going to take the other two legs and glue up here. And stick this up here like this. So here's Jesus's cradle. Now I'm thinking to make it look more rustic. Here's his cradle right here. Okay, I have burlap, so, and I pulled some of the ends to make it look frayed. I'm going to put that in the bed. I'm going to glue this a little better because it's not very sturdy. So I'm giving it a decent amount of glue. And then I'm going to hold these on here. Get some more glue on this side because you want it to stay. And I definitely want to be able to use this year after year. So go. I got to give it some time to dry. I haven't been giving it enough time. So while that's drying, I'm going to take the baby Jesus that we have, and I have some cloth that I folded in half, and I am going to put him up here and proceed to swaddle the baby in the blanket. I think I'm going to cut this. It's a little too long for the baby. So you just want material, wrap it around his little head. I think I'm going to add some glue right here to under his chin. So here's his face, and thinking this is a little long. I tried to fray the ends, and I'm thinking I might just leave it folded that way. Glue a little on the back for baby Jesus's blankie. So here's his cradle. Here's the burlap I'm putting in there. And here's baby Jesus to go in the cradle. But I'd also was thinking I could have Mary hold him. So let's see if Mary can hold Jesus with her little hands. She's got pipe cleaners for hands, so we'll see. There you go. So she's holding the baby Jesus, and okay, here's Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus. Here's the nativity I made yesterday, and I put his little crib in here for him. And then there's Mary and Joseph. And here is the nativity I have on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching, and have a blessed day. Bye.